I don't know if y'all can see, but I cut my hair a little shorter.
Oh
It
yeah.
is really nice. I like it.
I needed to. It was like fraying in like so many different layers. It was just not healthy. And my hair doesn't really want to grow past a certain length anyways, so this is where it like likes to be healthy at.
That's the hair on my head. It's you know. I've got more
Hey,
more more hair on my face now. Like I'm in a competition with you, Scott. I'm not sure if you're
your
aware of
beard
it.
looks great.
I
Your
know.
beard looks amazing.
I'm working really hard. I'm not. I'm just existing. But maybe it's like my stress, right? Like my stress. I found
It goes into
a white hair in all of this red beard, and I was like,
a
I'm
as somebody
aging.
that has like I have a streak of like white, as you know, that
Yeah,
goes like straight through my beard right here, which looks really cool.
that's
But
where all your wizard
Yeah, in
power
the
is.
DOP, I set even lighting on both sides so I can get a fucking clean cut, but I could like do this, and I can get a cross shadow if I want a more dramatic storytelling effect. I
Mm,
can also go for like warmer glow if I need to, if I need
mm.
to
oh,
appear
that's pretty,
radiant.
Work, work,
it does look
work.
nice.
This is the modeling episode, where we all
Let me show you
talk about how
what.
beautiful we are,
Check
and
this. Check this out. I have one, two, three, four, five lights that I can activate on this thing for varying different effects.
and Sophia
I
said,
can give a
"Let there
full
be
wash.
fucking light," and there were
Well,
5
because I
lights.
need to do makeup, right? Oh god damn it. Because I need to do makeup all the goddamn time, so
Yeah, you
therefore
need good light.
I can even get another one on. Now check this. Now I can add this one, which adds even more, and then I can also filter my daylight with like my curtain here.
Mm. Natural light is always my favorite light. It's my
It depends.
favorite source of light to just kind of be in.
That's a specific tone. So like if I do this, you can't tell that I'm not in natural light.
Mm.
Anyways, I'm ready if y'all are.
Oh yeah, we're live. I mean, we've been live.
Oh shit, my bad.
It's okay.
Hi everybody.
How y'all doing? What up?
We're a little we're getting there today.
Yeah, we're all
Give us
actually
a minute.
like I know like Scott, you're recovering from COVID
I
and
see, like, just literally just now, I was like, "Phew," I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
oh." Like, just I was like, "Oh." Yeah, it's horrible.
and we're all
I'm recovering
collectively
from other shit,
from the what?
but I shall be quiet.
Ah. Um
I
yeah,
said I'm recovering from.
we're all recovering from various things, I suppose. Though for me, I don't know. I think I've just been in a constant like work burnout kind of cycle, I think. Um I've been in a cycle like of executive function, like executive dysfunction, like paralysis, I guess, for a while. And it was coming from a place of like I didn't like sometimes when you do a task, right, 18 other subtasks appear like out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Especially when you're doing like paperwork bullshit and like IRS stuff and you know what I mean, just like annoying paperwork level admin crap, and it gets really frustrating, and especially it's like, well, you have to follow up between these hours and this and that. So like one of my personal things, I've been fighting with my insurance because they had me listed as a woman as female for the longest time.
Oh,
And so it was just fucking up everything. They were like, we can't ID match you. You don't exist. And I was like, motherfucker, how? Like I have an active plan. So anyway, so they're fucking with my diabetes meds, they're fucking with my tea, and so it's just been a lot of like that kind of stress. And then in addition to like not having the tea right now, and I switched to a daily gel, so it's kind of like it's fucking with my mood because I can tell like my hormone levels are kind of out of whack, and also I'm stressed
Yeah.
and annoyed about all of the shit that I'm dealing with. So when you just add world global shit on top of that, and you got a nice little shit sandwich of stress.
The constant war of being trans in America and having state sanctioned violence levied against you.
Yeah, and you know what? I do. So today, as a topic, I wanted to talk about battle magic. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that in particular, Sophia, what you just said there, because Kansas. Have we all
Yep.
heard about Kansas? Maybe let's start there with our discussion on battle magic, because this is, in particular, like, it is an attack on queer people in general. Like, I know they're targeting trans people specifically, but I mean, let's be real here.
There are simultaneous attacks, but that particular attack, yeah, it's direct attack on trans and non-binary people. It's about access, right? It's about taking away access. I mean, because if you really think about it, like they can no longer trans and non-binary people can no longer travel. Like depending on where they have to go, right? If it's far for work, or if it's for doctor's appointments, or if it's to pick up family members or what have you. It also makes it harder for people to get to. I mean, you could. I mean, right. It's just anything, right? It's just access. Anything that car would afford you the access to, it takes that away from trans and non-binary people, and yeah, it's a direct attack on our community. And now, of course, there are simultaneous attacks coming from different angles, right? But that is the one that's currently upon us. It's here. It's on top of us. It's yeah.
Just wait. Next, they'll start coming for birth certificates. That way, you can't use them to vote because they're now changing the requirements to vote because they have to super rig elections. So, if you are in America, make sure you're enrolled to vote because you probably got disenrolled or there's some fuck shit going on ahead.
Yeah.
Like,
That reminds me, I
do
really
not let
shouldn't.
them fucking use loopholes in the system to disenfranchise people and take even more power.
I was thinking about this because when I did all my name change and gender marker change stuff, I went all the way back to my birth certificate and I changed it. So on everything that I have, it reflects who I am now. Great. I know not in every not every state offers that option, or sometimes you have to go through a really expensive legal channel. You have to have like a private attorney sometimes, and so they just make it really, really hard. I was very fortunate that PA1 didn't make it that hard, and 2, I qualified for help from a legal clinic from Temple University. So they were really awesome about. I kind of just handed my paperwork to a bunch of law students, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll take care of this for you." So that was really nice. But this whole trying to do voter suppression with basically any woman is really what it comes down to, because with the whole
That's true. Yeah.
yeah, because if you get married, most women when they get married change their name, as just usually the standard, um and it's just oh, if you're married, well, now you can't vote, and then this becomes this slippery slope, right, of well, I trust my husband to vote correctly. It's girl, no. No.
I'll say this.
Full stop.
Really watch carefully how they move around the next election, because if there's a lot of people who go to vote who find they're unable to vote, expect a riot, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to know that they're going to get a riot out of that. So watch how they move with their counter positions with troop placements and equipment and shit.
Yeah.
Because if they're looking to place guards around voting stations, which they've talked about, then it's specifically because they plan on disenfranchising people and those people being upset when they're no longer able to vote.
So, battle magic, your voting polling place, ward the fuck out of it. Put some kind of maybe calming energy there to diffuse tension. I don't, whatever you think is appropriate for your particular polling place, because it's gonna be particular, depending on your.
You can plant law stay away work on those places as well. Maybe temporary thing, something that you can go and plant and then take away. And I only say that because my polling place is a school, and I don't want to create a situation,
where
where
putting something in a school and they're like, "You're arrested." Terrorist.
There's like grassy areas all around the place where I go, but also, well, I was thinking also too, like, if the magic maintained, what if someone actually needed the law and then something would occur? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, something in my case where I could place it and leave it for a little while to suffuse, and then take it away when elections are done. That's also a thing that I think you could do as well. Planting sigils, sort of using stickers, using sticker paper. When doing sigil work, though, this is something that I've noticed, and I really want to, me included. I'm not just talking to I'm also talking to me. When you're working sigils, make sure your sigils are not just something you're doing as like a, oh, well, it's easy magic. You know what I mean? You need to be really focusing on sigil magic. Sigil magic requires just as much attention as any other spell.
Kind of not
I
like
know a
you
lot
don't
of
want to
people.
be sitting there watching like your favorite anime, drawing my sigils. Like you want to
Yeah, like you
focus
have to
on what
actually
you're doing.
yeah, you want to focus your intention and really like go into really get into what you're creating, right? Really love the thing that you made. This took me, for those who are watching, I'm holding up a sigil. Let me see, will it do it?
There you
Yeah.
go. That's pretty
That
focused.
took me for a while. Like that took me a while to get right. Um and to a point to where I liked it. That's just for school. That's for helping me study. But
So
yeah, I
witchy.
think
Just so casually. That's my school.
it is. It's my school sigil. Um but, but yeah, no, planting sigils I think is also a great way if you can find a way to get like good sticker paper and blop right somewhere. Um
Paint a sigil on a rock. Drop it.
If I may, with sigils, if just drawing them was enough, then any casual stick person you drew would have charge and potentiality. You know what I mean? Really,
mm-hmm.
like Scott is saying, have to put the energy into it. When you're sigil designing, it's extremely rare when I get a sigil in less than 40 minutes hatch. That's
Yep,
extremely rare.
very rare
Um,
for me too.
My average is probably 3 to 6 hours sometimes. Like you can spend all day fleshing out a sigil just because it's not quite right. And I promise you, if it's not quite right, it's not done. You need to absolutely know that that shit is fire
Is
and not have
the
any doubts about anything you put on it. Then it's done.
Like if you're looking at it and you're like, it feels kind of half-assed. It is.
yeah, I find
Or
that
like
too.
a good example of the linking sigil without the dot. Like Argel just thought doesn't feel balanced here. Slap the dot there and then boom, it works way better, you know?
Mm-hmm. So stuff like that can really change a sigil. Absolutely. Like this right here, this is something different. This is a seal. I've always wanted to make my own like seals, like complex like seals, which act more like a flag or a sort of a house than a sigil. Exact other sigil. It's complicated. You all know what I'm
Seals
talking about.
remind me a lot of like X signs, how they're complex.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah, that one's
working on a earth. This is for like summoning. I don't know if you could see.
Yes.
That's
mm,
the sigil for Gob or Gob, the elemental king of Earth, and then the sigil in the middle is Gemma Gary's sigil for the hair of Earth, the a familiar spirit. And then this isn't done yet. This is just a rough draft of the
mm.
seal that I'm working on for working with like I could put this down under earthen aligned workings. Um, but yeah, but anyway, we're talking about war magic, which you could do that too, by the way. There, the sixth pentacle of Mars that me and Sophia talk about quite frequently.
Oh, let
The
me show
sixth,
you something. Keep going.
it's the
Ever-
sixth, right? I'm not crazy because I'm
It's
dizzy.
Mars. I literally keep a paper copy of it in the back of my phone case here. So I can
Wait, wait.
actually just pop it up on camera right now.
It's on the back of my phone.
High five, great minds think alike. What can I say? It helps. I have mine actually hidden. Check it in like this recess in the phone, and I have like a
Nice.
sticker from the show I worked on over top of it, and then like a 5-leaf clover. Bam.
Mhm.
So I'm strapped on my
Like I'm
phone
fucking
case.
ready at all
Yeah.
times. Come at me.
Hey, bitch,
I'm ready.
I got leprechauns and I got fucking Goliath. Don't
I
fuck with
got the
me.
power of God and anime on my side. No, sorry.
Exactly.
Uh,
What should I call it? There's also the fourth pentacle of Saturn.
Hmm.
The fourth pentacle of
That's
Saturn
the Satyr Square,
is
isn't it?
no, I
uh
actually have a Satyr Square right
Or
no.
is
here.
it?
Hang on.
I
Isn't
also do
that?
too.
Isn't that based off? Or is that
The
the?
fourth
I like how
pentacle?
Spot and I are just like, oh yeah, I have a Satyr Square. Let me find it.
Right here.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
right
Flip
here.
backward.
Check this one.
Yeah, I
Yep.
was experimenting last night or
High five,
yesterday
Scott.
with some I was experimenting with a runic Satyr Square last night, so it's
Oh,
been on my
Ooh.
sick.
mind. But
Yeah,
I
I've
thought
actually
it
seen
was
those.
derived from the fourth pentacle of
All I know is real recognize real and game on having that
I have
Satyr Square as well.
I know. It's actually I have a sticker of it on my front door. Like ward my
Look,
house. Fought from
I
fire
know
and pest.
somebody I know somebody who's a practicing witch who's very good at like seeing people, but so much of their shit's guided by like magic sight. And the day I bought that Satyr Square, we worked on the same like set and we didn't even fucking recognize each other because they were in like a full outfit and I was like carrying a Satyr Square. Fucking hilarious.
Okay, yeah, the fourth pentacle of Saturn's like got the triangle look.
Yeah.
So there is
The
a pentacle of Saturn that's based off of. I just can't remember.
I definitely want to know when you find out. You don't have to do it right now, but I definitely am
Remember
curious.
that witchcraft shop
The second,
in Ontario that you really freaked out
I,
about when I talked about the Three Sisters, Scott? That's where I got this one.
That looks cool. It reminds me a lot of my friend sent me this. He's a uh, Filipino cunning person, if you will. I forget the proper Filipino name for um the like what he is, but yeah,
it is the second pentacle of Saturn. That
the
is
second
that
pentacle
the
of
Satyr
Saturn.
Square comes from.
The fourth
Almost there.
pentacle is specifically for all works of destruction and curses, malefica. It will empower any working that you're doing for that purpose. You could
Mm-hmm.
place it underneath of a curse if you're constructing an effigy or for a destructive spirit that you wish to set after our enemies. You can build that effigy over the fourth pentacle, or if you are specifically going after a person and you're building a puppet. But if you're doing that, remember, try not to go after someone like Trump or Vance. They have too much consciousness on top of them, an egregore, if you will. It's harder to hit them alone. If you really want to try to hit them, you have to try to have a lot of witches focusing on the same magic at the same time.
Well then.
I
But
think the movement in that department grows every day.
I think if you were to just go and throw down yourself, you'd be pleasantly surprised at how many people are just already doing that without coordination, without
it's
uh
true. I've been
fear of
thinking that too.
retaliation or reprimand. Like right now, there's kind of a storm of casting happening around it, and especially with like the Iran strikes and like the whole lead up to the blood moon. Like I'm just saying, y'all, now's a good time to like actually, if you were to
It is.
ever make a group effort to concerted do something, it's like today and tomorrow.
I
You
was
know,
It
thinking about
absolutely, I agree because I will say you can tell the sort of like if you channel into it, right, and you sit with the I don't know what you want to call it, but the energies that surround these people, you could tell that there is just constant throwing, right? Like
alarm
everyone is just
bells.
like boom, 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 boom. Like
I
people are just
literally
working magic.
in my head when I imagine their systems, it's like a ship in space that's being bombarded and the alarm's going on and the deck lights are on and everything's red because it's doing red to conserve power. And they're withstanding the blows now, but they're getting very worried about how their shield levels are holding up. That's the energy right
I actually agree. I do agree. I think that even things are slipping through. That's why I think that this is all happening. Like all everything so that's becoming so apparent. Everything's so obvious, right? All these slip ups, all these things that they're doing. We talk about it as if it's like strategic moves, but I really think that they're desperate. I personally think that they're
now.
really desperate, and I think that even this war is just a way for us to not have our elections. It's just another way so that way we don't get to have elections. Because if we go into a war, he can technically call now. Like there are limits to what he could do, from what I understood from a creator named Monty. She is amazing. Um, Monty something. I'll put it in the show notes. But she's really cool. She's a deconstructed evangelical, and she puts in a lot of hard work. She's not just like a lip service kind of deconstructor. She's a deconstruction, and yeah, she was talking about how this is a play for him to um, screw us out of our election because he knows, given how special elections have gone in the last couple of months, even last week,
Not looking
they're going to
good.
be demolished in the primaries.
Yeah. I
They
think
will
they
be completely
expected
stampeded.
I think they expected more people to be completely unaware. Like I think they expected a lot more people to just allow them to do what they wanted because the government, quote unquote, had gotten away with things for so long, and capitalism and corporations, oh shit, hit my
Right.
mic, and they've gotten away with it for so long. I think they were like, oh yeah, we could just take this. We're just gonna take it. And I think there's enough of us that are like, no, no.
Right. I mean, right, right. I think that people are fed up. I mean, who knew that Nazi Groiper, what's his name? The Nazi Groiper guy. Nick
Nick
Fuentes.
Fuentes.
Nick
Uh,
Fuentes, he was just like he was like, fuck this, vote for the Democrats in the next election. He was
what?
like, this is what Republicans give you, fuck this shit, vote for Democrats. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I was like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and agree with a fucking Nazi Groiper. You can go fucking die. But like, holy shit, you know what I mean? But like,
Wow.
yeah, like it's weird. It's weird. Like because they're falling apart. Like someone called it like a narcissistic meltdown, right? What happens to a narcissist when like everyone catches on and no one like they no longer have supply,
Yeah,
right?
it's like,
Narcissistic
well,
supply.
They
well,
go through also
whatever.
what's called an extinction burst, where their
Yeah,
negative behavior cycles up as much as it possibly can until it like literally spends the last energies in its reserves and then it petters out and crashes. And we're seeing the death spiral energy expenditure, which is why it's gone so far as to like literally try to circumvent elections and like bomb enemy or like not enemy foreign nations without like approval from Congress, like that's kind of level of that shit, right? It
Mhm.
doesn't really get much more than that.
egregious. Yeah.
I also had a really cool idea for a large scale working.
Hmm.
I have some great ideas when I'm like relaxing in the shower under the hot water.
The best.
Um I know, right? I have so many ideas in the bathroom, the shower, or whatever. I had this really cool idea of so it's kind of like it's a little bit convoluted, but you have to get a box, right? And this isn't a fully formed idea yet. I don't know if I want to do like a mirror box situation or what, but there's a box involved, and what else is involved are little effigies that are easy to construct, that are easy to baptize as sort of like in a general sense. So like each of these, like you'll make a bunch of them, right? And they represent the GOP base, right? People, regular Joe
Different
schmoes
players.
that keep voting
Hmm.
for it, right? And keep supporting it. And I wanted to do a large scale binding using little miniature effigies, and I wanted to put all of those little effigies in a box and sort of seal them up. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that in like a mirror box situation, put like little mirrors and have it all, inside, have it all, bounce back at them. But I know that I wanted to do like a large scale binding uh, on them, and not
Why
like
stop
even
it? Why stop at mirror box? Why not just like throw sulfur in there too and chain it and then drop it in the ocean? Just
Ocean,
saying.
right? I mean, you could do that as well, right? I mean, there are a lot you could do with it, but even workings like that, like I think would be beneficial. The thing is, like, I know that right now, like it's really strange, right? You have like you have occultists and witches and magical practitioners of every flavor and culture telling you like, hey, like they have people doing magic too, and this is just it's not even like a conspiracy thing. You can go online and see it. Um,
Mhm.
and Jay and I actually knew a druid uh, who was a trumper, right? Probably is a trumper.
Blew my mind.
Um, and which I don't know how you could be a druid, and I don't know how you could do any of this and be a trumper, but
Right, like how
It's
can
just
you
important to
be
remember that fascism comes for everybody, right? Like there's the more that we think that it can't come for us, the more vulnerable we are, right? That's how you get your Caitlyn Jenners. That's how you get your pick me's. You know, it'll happen to any demographic or any person insofar as you don't go out of your way to immunize against it. If you don't do that, you're vulnerable, right?
mhm.
I was thinking back to what you were saying, Scott, and also you, Sophia, about the spaceship, right? Of just they're just getting bombarded, and their shields are absorbing it, but shields only last for so long, right? And I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking about what you were saying, Scott, of like how initially you were like, don't do a working that necessarily attacks Trump or Vance directly, right? Like none of the big players directly,
Oh,
but I think it depends on how you approach it mentally, right? So if you
Mhm.
approach it from this idea of like I am this one witch and I am the only witch that can save the world and I am the only witch throwing shit at these motherfuckers. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be very successful, right? Because that's like main character bullshittery, right? So like
Right.
don't do that, but I think if you approach it from like I am joining the current of other witches. I am
Yeah.
joining this fight. I am joining this battle kind of thing. And then I think that is a better maybe mental way to because magic is in here. As much as it's out here, it's also in here too.
Mhm.
I just got
Absolutely.
a crazy good fucking idea.
Mm.
So again, I was visualizing the ship while you were talking, and my visualization's been getting better, I guess, lately. And I was seeing how you're saying, the energy on the shields doesn't hold up for forever. And I was thinking, right, because the energy comes from somewhere. And I was thinking of it, I'm like, but the energy would come from people who believe in them and feed into it. And then I
God's thing.
realized why they're having trouble right now is because they're splitting their base,
Yeah.
they're running
Mhm.
out of support of people, and their energy coming in to sustain their shields is draining. So if you want to be a tactical motherfucker about this, don't go hit the shield. Don't go hit the ship.
Go for the
Hit
power
the people
source.
sending the energy to keep the
It,
shield up, or
that's
sever their ability to send the energy and cause a disruption around it, and then their shields will start just cracking down because the big witches are going to be throwing big hits no matter what. And if a lot of us focus our energy on starving their energy system, I think we can absolutely cripple this fucking behemoth in the next 2 days.
hence the box.
Yes.
That's where the idea of the box came from.
Yeah,
That's why.
it was so cool to see those two ideas because it is a war, it is a battle in the astral, and I think this is kind of what we've been talking about. Like it is a as above, so below, right? So,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
when we're talking about the battle that is above, like it's that it's I really thought. I don't know. Maybe it's because of all the media that I've consumed and the books we've read as kids and all the dystopian. Did you pull the tower? Damn it! No, I'm just waiting for
No,
it. Oh, I can't say it's blurry.
the sun.
Un.
That's even better.
Ooh.
Get the fuck
So
out of
I've been
here.
reading a lot
Ooh.
about how the
No,
conditions we're in right now are actually
mm,
identical to what you get in every historic situation before a giant revolution. Like another one specifically of an indicator was people not willing to have kids because of the bad state of the world. And then that, once shit gets fixed, leads to a massive like
Baby
child
boom.
boom and an economic in turn. And therefore the Renaissance is tied to that and like a lot of it's
Wait.
complicated. There's a lot of factors
So
involved. But
is Gen Alpha the next baby boomers?
no,
Technically, no, or
no.
their kids would be.
Baby boom would be if we had a renaissance and people could suddenly afford to have kids
Mm-hmm.
because there's a massive downturn on world population simply for like the affordability and lack of hope and lack of stability in like the general populace. If that was alleviated, you would see the conditions of birth massively increase, right? And people would feel safer having children with like more access to medicine and like a world to bring them into, right? So then you would technically have the second baby boomer, and that would be in like a post revolution style economic boom, kind of
Yeah, like
similar to
whenever that
how
would be. Yeah, like I would
world.
hope. I
No,
just
it's coming. I can just fucking feel it.
I think we're gonna
There's
see
too
it
much.
in our lifetime. Like I think we're gonna
Like,
see this thing collapse and rebuild in our lifetime. I really think so because of how
so
fast we move.
I've noticed something very, very, very interesting to me in the past 2 weeks. Before, the bot farms were crazy with trying to pump out the propaganda, right?
Hmm.
They've been quiet lately. On like everything that I'm
Really?
seeing, there's a lot less bot posts trying to steer people and like give counter arguments. I feel like they know they've lost people and they're not trying to steer the narrative so much as just wrest power from people by like physically removing the remote control from your hand by grabbing it, right? That's the stage they're at right now. So be very careful for anything to happen in the next like month or two.
And also, I think, and I don't. Again, I'm not falling into the realm of like doom and gloom and this and that, but like they could pull the plug on our whole internet infrastructure. Like they could pull the plug on the internet here. You know, if things got crazy enough, you know what I mean. I wouldn't put it past them to start, pulling the plug on our
So
communications channels and
that's
things like that.
not actually in their favor because if they do that, they're pulling away the thing that's pacifying people the most.
True.
That's the
Mm.
problem when you base your entire like society around a little treat. Ooh, I can't get through this day, but a little treat will help me get through it. You take away everybody's sustenance of little treats like the internet like that.
Yeah.
Imagine all those chronically online people who suddenly can't be online and are
Right.
very, very frustrated about it.
So maybe in a way, I don't know. Maybe I don't know, but I think it's like also have some backup communication channels, I guess. Start writing down phone numbers of people that you're close to, people that you can interact with. Maybe write down their addresses. If you're not really good at remembering stuff like that, like get yourself a little notebook and hide it somewhere, lock it up somewhere, because we might need to go a little analog, either out of necessity or I don't know, just I think it might be more out of necessity. It's usually not ease, but like I don't know. I just have a backup plan in case, like for things like that, for communication of key people in your life. Because one thing to remember is that despite all of this magic, I mean, you could have a whole fucking wizard's lounge lair and all your trinkets and doing rituals and spells every day, but if you don't have community behind you, if you don't have people that you can kind of call, rely on, in a pinch, whatever that situation is. It could be something as simple as like, there's a leak in my house. What the fuck? You need people in your corner. And so it's really important to not let your ego kind of prevent that from happening. Real
Isolate you
quick,
from others.
I wanted to acknowledge the people in the chat here. So we have Katie. Katie popped in. I think Katie's still here.
Hey.
What's up? We have.
We fucking love you.
Miss
Oh, that's
you.
Ashka. Oh, Ashka's here. Hey, I recognize your little picture icon. I was like, it's a different name, but I know the picture. So Ashka's here. What's up? Good to see you. And Chris is here. Oh yeah. So back to when we were talking about like, if you're doing magic targeting particular figures, right? You want to kind of think about like what Ashka was saying is kind of tailor it for, I'm doing magic for this goal as opposed to against this thing or against this target. It's for this goal. So it's not, and I don't think it's not like that whole like you can't hex people, only love. You know, I don't think it really comes from that. I think it comes from
No.
just using your energy more smartly.
That's exactly what it is. I think that oftentimes direct attacks on people with what I always say is like they have a lot of consciousness on them, right? It's equivalent, the way I've always seen it, it's equivalent to like talking away your magic, which is what my teachers at Harry's used to always call it. Don't talk away your magic. Don't talk away your magic. I used to get yelled at all the time for
Mm,
talking about my magic. Don't talk away your magic. I'll never forget. And it reminds me of how it feels to talk away my magic, to
right.
sort of attack them feels as if it's sort of diffusing into sort of the conscious the how do I put this, upon the work is pressed thousands of other opinions on it, right? Sort of like that, like, oh, will this still work? Oh, this won't work. You know what I mean? It sort of starts to press upon the spell, and it becomes harder for the spell to hit its mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that there is a way absolutely to go about it. I didn't mean to make absolutes, but there's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a way to do it. I just think, like you said, you have to be more strategic.
Yeah.
Um,
When we talk about intent in magic, that's really what it is. You have to keep focused on your intent. If your intent kind of deviates while you're directing, it's going to change the outcome of what you're trying to do.
and you can always bring it back too, just for people who are watching who aren't used to going like troubleshooting magic.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm.
Magic is
Pinning
very
that for a
mutable.
future episode idea, troubleshoot.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's like a whole topic. And
Yeah, well, we could. Yeah, just to give like a real quick little tidbit for that, you can like even if your mindset changes in the middle of a spell, you can bring it back. Like don't you don't have to force. Magic doesn't come from like, "Hurrah," you know what I mean? It's not you have to you bring it back. You know what I mean? Let the thought pass, and you bring it back. You know what I mean?
oh
You
yeah,
can
like
always.
meditation, like how they always tell you with meditation, right? Like you're sitting there and you're like, I'm clearing my mind, and then you're like, am I gonna make chicken for dinner? No, stop. Okay, go back, reset, redo. And
Right.
it's not like yelling at yourself. It's not like, you stupid motherfucker, why can't you just focus?
No, no,
It's
no.
just,
You
nope,
never do that.
okay, forgetting about the chicken, and we're relaxing. And it's
Yeah, and you go
um
back to focus on your right.
focus on the breath. Um
Hmm.
Sophia disappeared. um what else for battle magic? I feel like I had a ton of
I have
other
a lot, but I
ideas,
feel like
but we
talking about battle magic as a philosophical does more than just telling people here's how to hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
you can also fight in different ways too. And I also kind of want to say this. I think I've said it before here, and especially this is a queer witchcraft podcast. We kind of we come from a queer angle, right? All the time. Most of us are queer here. At least the hosts of this podcast. We all are, and this is the lens at which we present this to you. Is first in this particular, like, there's battles that are actual fighting. There's battles that are bombs, and that's done by drones and shit. And there's fighting that's done in the astral. And there's also fighting that's done culturally and socially. And the fighting that you can do every fucking day is, one, wake up, take care of yourself, take your meds, eat right, okay? Like, move your body, take care of yourself, right? Because just by your very existence, you are fighting, by your very existence of not hiding, of you continuing to report to your job, wearing the clothes that you like to wear, expressing yourself in the way that you are meant to express yourself. And that is the first fight. That's the first level of the fight that you're doing every day. And that
mhm,
fight is difficult. It's not easy to do all the time, depending where you are.
mhm.
So I just want to, kind of hone that in there. Like, your first line of defense is yourself. You have to make sure that you're good first.
Showing up, just like queer joy, are forms of resistance. I know we're probably maybe a little tired of hearing that. Maybe for some people it might be a bit of a, you know, whatever, it might be tired or whatever, but it's true. Um, Showing up for yourself, just like queer joy, is an act of resistance. I'm excited for June once again, as I often do. I become very excited at this time, because the sheer level of power that I get through like sort of empathic assimilation, being around queer people at Pride and stuff. I don't know, it's liberating, but it on a psycho spiritual level, not just you know, um, I sort of gain more power from it being around it. Um, but all of that, like you said, it's all a form of resistance.
Just picture
It
this
is.
like rainbow like power meter going up at Pride. Like you're like a sim with like the little energy bar above your head. It's like
Yeah.
until you just explode into like rainbow fireworks or whatever.
I'd like
I'm
to talk
picturing.
about. Sorry, go ahead. You guys are still talking about something.
No. I was just gonna make a joke. I was gonna say I'm picturing what you call it? It's like what was that guy from The Watchmen, the blue guy, but like in
Uh,
rainbows.
Dr. Manhattan? Is that who he is?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like yeah, just like
Yeah.
but a gay version with
Yeah.
rainbow lights.
Boom. Pride be
What were you
like.
saying, Sophia?
I also want to make space for like more negative emotions surrounding this whole thing because
Mhm.
like a lot of us have really suffered state sanctioned violence, you know,
Mhm,
and
mhm,
it takes a psychic toll on the body and on the mind and on the spirit, and you don't realize it until you can process it in post. But like they're literally steering and controlling your life, whether you think so or not, because they're shutting down avenues that are accessible to you. They're restricting who you get to be, who you feel you want to surround yourself with, because they want other people like you to disappear too. You know, it's not going to stop there. It'll always keep going, right? And a lot of people get worse than that too. And I don't want to get too,
mhm.
but it's okay to be mad. It's
Oh,
okay to
Oh,
not
yeah.
know what to do with that anger. And it's actually probably the healthiest thing to not know what to do with that anger, right?
mhm,
I've spent a lot of time trying to heal around that, and it's very fucking difficult, especially because we as trans people and other people who are suffering through a lot of this stuff, we're not going to really get to share our experiences with the public until everything's over, right?
Yeah.
Because we're still being so minimalized, we're still being so ignored, and people don't even want to believe the narratives that we'll tell, you know, gender or otherwise. Like, here's a really good example. Would we have believed Epstein survivors 20 years ago?
no,
Do you really think that every form of abuse that the government has put people through has been disclosed?
Oh
no.
god.
Of course not. There's a lot of people who are still surviving and carrying those wounds who I see you all, and it's difficult, and my heart goes out to all of you, and not knowing what to do with your pain is okay, and that's healthy. And if you have something to focus into, that's healthy too. And you know, I'm also not going to be the person to say don't grind that axe, because sometimes that's the only thing that keeps you going. So if you have to grind your axe, grind your fucking axe,
Mhm,
because when you survive really hard shit, you kind of don't have perfect processing and responses. You're not going to act like somebody who's had like a perfectly healthy upbringing. You're not going to have like all the same responses. You're going to feel like damaged goods a little bit. And it's really difficult if you can't talk about why you're damaged goods. But just allowing yourself to feel that and be that, that's okay, you know? And you can heal. It takes time. It's a process, but we will get through this together because all we have is each other, and there's nobody who knows our pain like us, you know? And I
mhm.
love all of you, and we will fucking survive this, and they will not erase us. We will not fucking
Absolutely.
go quiet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's okay. My therapist always says to accept those moments.
Hmm.
It's just because we're in a podcast, and I feel like I have to fill every second. But we
No,
can take
I
a second here and kind of chew on
in
something.
our in in like queer culture in general, we we talk a lot about being ready to sit with uh those kind of things, right? We want to be authentic, and we are. I think in general we have authenticity down pretty well. Um and I think even, and if this is going to be a queer podcast, I think even for our listeners, it's okay if you took a moment
Mhm.
to be quiet. You know, to you're with the podcast. Don't worry about that, but just take a minute. You're allowed to sit with it. We'll be here for you. You know, we're not going to be like, your feelings go away. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's not.
I know most of our viewers are trans too, and just remember, like, we're all going through this together. You are not alone.
So yeah, yeah. But I guess that's why we're talking about the topic, right? Because right now it's a topic of it's something that we're all thinking about, right? Um, I mean, every marginalized group that's being attacked right now, um, and some of them are being, you know, obfuscated intentionally, so not to be seen or
Mhm.
acknowledged. Like there's a lot of attacks happening on our disabled friends and family. Um, particularly those with right now it's particularly those with physical disabilities and physical needs, prosthesis and stuff like that. um there's stuff surrounding that I'm not 100%. I don't remember everything right now, but yeah, we're all we're scared. Fear is, I know I am a little scared. um Not in a bad way, not in an unhealthy way. I think I've maintained a healthy sense of like,
Not in like a
you know,
paralyzing way. Like it's not you're not
yeah,
like not living your life. Like I'm still
but no,
living.
yeah, I still focusing on, you know, my intention is still like, because my intention is to come out of this walking and pissing on their graves. Um
Yes, like I want to fucking survive so I can be like, I fucking told you so. Everyone wants a better life. Like healthcare for everyone, fuck you. Like I just
right,
want that
right.
Period.
experience. Healthcare for even you, motherfucker. Even you. you
No,
know?
no, they don't get it. They rot in
See, we
hell.
can't be like that. Now the ones who
uh,
actually, I mean, trials, lock them up, all that good stuff. But like, for the voters who voted for it, who really just were brainwashed, even healthcare for you.
yeah, we just can't be friends right now. I
No,
have
we
to
can't be
learn how.
friends. But you deserve healthcare.
Yeah, that I agree.
Yeah.
That I agree. But yeah, that this is why we talk about battle magic. And you know, I'm glad that we've come back to this. I feel like battle magic in this way, we really wouldn't have talked about it in this community 20 years ago. Right, like that wasn't a conversation that we had a lot of. We would talk about Operation Cone of Power, right? We would talk about it, and it would sort of be this like it was just a way to be like, see how cool we are, you know, like which is, you know, stopped Hitler kind of thing, or helped to stop Hitler, and I believe that. But it was never sort of like, you have to remember, like it was always taken as like it was a protective tactic, right? It was protection magic. It was not protection magic.
No,
They were not doing protection magic.
I
That
really
was a direct
recommend
occult attack.
read the Magical Battle for Britain. Uh,
Yeah,
the unfortunate. Yeah. Right. Yeah, her.
I think I think so.
Um, she's an OG occultist. Some of her, she's a British lady from World War II era, so she's gonna have her
And
prejudice.
she was well off.
Yeah, and she was well off,
That makes sense.
but she's a damn good occultist, right? She knows her shit, so kind of one of those. But yeah, the Magical Battle for Britain, it's a collection of her letters of her. I don't want to say coven, like a society. I think they're called the Society of Fraternity of Light or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
he had a weird name.
yeah, so it was like a society. So I guess a coven esque But like a group of, like-minded occultists or occult-leaning people that worked magic during this time period, to bring about change, in that particular conflict. So I do think it's a really good thing to revisit, extract things that are relevant to today, don't dwell on the details, right? It's a snapshot in time, these letters. But
Who wrote that? Dion Fortune?
I think so. It was Dion Fortune, Magical Battle for Britain.
Yep.
I have it on my bookshelf somewhere. Don't want to. I'll lose connection with headphones. Yeah, I read it, and I think I talked about it before on here, like early on when this stuff started happening, and I think that's kind of where I was sort of inspired from the beginning, and I really thought that witches everywhere were going to rise up in unison, and we were all gonna join fucking hands and throw hands together. That did not. I don't want to say that did not happen, but it did not have. It's not happening in the way that in the movie in my head, in the book I'm writing in my head.
Yeah.
It didn't happen that way. Like the Hollywood moment didn't come of witches out in the streets, having rituals everywhere, because that's not how witchcraft works. That's not how magic works. Magic works in secret, in silence, in relative seclusion. It is a cult, and I think with the internet and how we kind of approach occultism now, like we have blown the doors wide open on it for sure. You know what I mean? Like it's not as much of an exclusive club as it used to be. Like you kind of had
But
to
it's still
like,
occulted.
but it is still occulted, like in the sense of like I don't think I would show, like I'll show some pictures of like basement working, but not like all of it. You know what I mean? So like, just some things are sacred.
I show like when I show like if I feel compelled to show a spell, I will show ashes. I will show like the mess of a spell, but I don't show it. And I don't like I will purposely like hide things that were in the spell. So like if you saw a recent post of mine, it just has like a card from one of my favorite divination decks. It's a defeat, and it's a head on a platter with a crow plucking out the eye, and there's like ashes and like a cauldron, you know what I mean? Like, and that's all you see. And I just said my queer rage is sacred, right? And I didn't talk about what it was. I didn't say what kind of spell it was or what I was doing, right? I just kind of posted very loosely. And when the reason I do that is one because I'm also very fed up with pretty magic. Like online pretty
Aesthetically
magic.
placed
I'm
posts.
tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm so like as a cunning
Yeah.
person, I am so exhausted because I can do everything that you're doing with like 10 blue candles and like, two different oils and all this other stuff. I could do all that with maybe like two herbs and a candle or some water in a glass, right? Like, whatever, a piece of string. Um
I
my
think it's
magic is
important
not.
to remember that people won't really show their important rituals. Like a lot of that stuff is done for the context of taking a photo, because so much of like social media and how people have to make it a business and they're putting themselves out there. Like pretty magic is a byproduct of Instagram witches. Sorry, not sorry.
No, 100%. As somebody who is not like, I used to think that was cool, but
It
I
kind of
don't
is,
want
but not if you overdo it and constantly
right,
only do that.
I think
Like,
it's
I will
important.
right.
do pretty magic sometimes, but sometimes my magic's burnt fucking ashes.
I think
Right.
it really
It
depends
my
what you're
magic is
called
ugly
to.
most of the time. It's not very pretty, Ajay.
It depends, like what you're called to, what the situation calls to. If you have time. I mean, Casey was talking about this. Uh, my Brockry mentor we talked about this the other day. She was saying it depends on the situation. If you have an immediate need, your magic's going to be a little bit more, not messy, but you're going to use what you have. Like whatever is immediately available to you. If that need is immediate, like I need to do this now. I don't have time to order the candles and inscribe the candles and wait for the planetary hour. I don't have time for that. I have to do this now. Versus
Right.
like a different working, you know what I mean? Like, if this is a yearly ritual that you do all the time, then you might take longer
That's
preparing for
right.
it.
That is different, right? That is a different thing. I think I'm specifically talking about how people feel magic needs to be pretty because all as you see, like Sophia was saying,
Is the
is
aesthetic.
pretty magic because that's what people does the aesthetic stuff because of what we post online. That's specifically what I was
Yes.
trying to get at. I apologize for
You
moving
are.
I
around.
agree. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm glad, like, I'm not super consistent on our social media pages because I'm just so disinterested in social media.
I don't think we should be.
Yeah, like, and if I do post anything, it's random. Like, it is, I say, hey, you know, just send me random pictures. A picture of some graffiti out in the city, you know, a cool tree that I took a picture of, or, you know, I never, I thought that I was like, okay, maybe, you know, I'll do like some aesthetic looking shots. And I'm like, no, because I'd rather save that energy for like product shots for the business. Like, I'd rather save all of that nice lighting, aesthetic, and obsess over all that shit because I'm a goddamn perfectionist in that
And like,
regard.
I realized on an experience that we spend so much time and energy giving ourselves away to stuff that doesn't necessarily pay back. Like you
Mm,
put so much energy into the algorithm of Instagram. Instagram doesn't make anything. It doesn't generate content. We do. If
yeah.
we weren't putting our stuff on there, Instagram would have no value. You generate 100% of the value of Instagram, not Instagram, right? And how much of your time and energy goes into just making rich people money on their platforms because what your chance to chase a dollar, the fact that maybe like the top 10-15% of like people getting their posts like will rise to the top and make something out of it while like the massive 85% of people get exploited. Just saying, your energy is far better spent elsewhere, right?
Hmm.
Stop fucking making really fancy shit for Instagram.
Get your own
Save it
like
to an art
website.
portfolio of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you are the creator, not Instagram, right? These algorithms only rely because we are the creatives, right? That's why they're trying so hard for generative AI because they literally can't run their platforms without us. And they're fucking scared of us unplugging. And if they can't artificially inflate their content, it won't look like people are there and people won't want to go there because of how virality and human minds work, right? So just
Yeah, like if we all
unplug
were
from
just
them.
like, hey, Instagram's not cool anymore. Like imagine that if like all those
Well, here's the
millions of
thing.
actual users just left.
Instagram is a tool. You
Yeah.
can absolutely get a lot of information to people. I actually think Instagram is extremely useful for political discourse because they don't filter videos in the same way that a lot of other social media platforms might.
Which is
You can
weird
get
because
away
it's
with
all
like
meta.
reporting.
So odd.
I know it's very strange, but you can
Yeah.
get away with reporting that happens on like Gaza that is not just not fucking happening on other platforms, right? And even Threads, which is another one that's owned by
Meta.
Facebook, right? It's extremely political on
Yeah, it's
Threads,
very left
right?
leaning.
But also Threads is extremely accelerated with its algorithm. Like, test this. If you want, find a model of a specific aesthetic, go and like a bunch of those model photos. Then in your feed, you're going to get more of these, and you like those and you refresh. Eventually, your feed will just become those models, right? So, like, it's not necessarily left leaning or right leaning. It just
It's
feeds you
whatever
what
you're
it
looking
thinks.
at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, in a way, like I think Threads does work well. Not to make this a whole social media whatever episode, but I think Threads
Part of it.
works well in the sense of like it will show you what you want. Like if you interact with the things that you want, it will keep showing you more of that, and it's kind of like, well, what I'm here for. You know what I mean? Because usually when I'm on social media, I'm looking for pagan, Wicca, witchcraft. You know, I'm looking
Mhm.
at all of my usual tags. That's what I'm here for. I'm not really here for politics, MAGA. I get that everywhere else. Yeah, I don't need that. You know.
Uh,
And
I
the
well
thing is, go ahead, Scott.
no, I was gonna say, I mean, I have my people that I like, right?
Mm. Or
But
certain
the people
creators,
that
you
I
know.
like getting my political news from, people that I trust enough, right? Um, but otherwise, yeah, most of my stuff is like paganism, occultism, witchcraft. Uh, it's gym content and a lot of like queer thirst trap and
Hashtag thirst trap.
D&D and Sims 4. That's
Yeah.
like the bulk of it. And I recently got into, I know this is crazy, but Darren got me into like Minecraft, so now my YouTube has like Minecraft videos.
That's not crazy at
So
all. You're neurodivergent. That tracks. That's like a 1-to-1 right there.
so like now I'm into Minecraft and I have this mod. Now I'm like modding Minecraft already. And I have this like cool mod called Hexerai and I get to like
Nice.
make rooms and shit and I'm like, yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I might
Like
have to
your
fuck
magic
around with
wand
Minecraft.
going.
Pretty
Oh my
much.
god. Should we do a Minecraft
Awesome.
stream? All of us just fucking around in a Minecraft server. That would be kind of fun.
That'd be
I'm not good at Minecraft.
Can
I
we get
don't have a
Katie?
lot
Can we
of
get Katie to host the server because Katie is a fucking baller at Minecraft?
That is very true. So Katie, if you're here and you're down for some Minecraft time, that would be a fun time. See,
I'm still new, so
I'm
like
such
you have
like
to
a
be
witch.
gentle with
I'm
me.
like I'm like a caveman when it comes to Minecraft because I'm gonna build a mud hut and that's enough for me. And I'm gonna live real simple off the land.
Jay is like the classic build stairs into ground for mud hole.
Yes.
No nothing needed, dirt walls, happy, sleep on bed, put torch on wall. Good game.
Minimalist. Yep. I'm very minimalist.
I'm over
And I
here
even
trying to
noticed
like
when I played Valheim too, I was like, I'm doing the same thing I do in Minecraft. Meanwhile,
There's
Katie's
many
like, I
things this
built a
man
fortress, and
in
I'm
life
like,
and he is
what?
not. There's many things this man is in life and he is not an interior designer.
No, not at all.
One thing I was gonna say though is like when we're talking about social media, it sounds like we're not talking about battle magic, but we fucking are, right? Because
I'm glad you're saying this.
part of the
Part of
battle
the
is
war is
meta,
happening
and
there.
it's not on, like Facebook, right? But like we put so much time and energy into that shit. A big part of battle magic is pulling your energy back. We don't
Mm,
realize how many like leeches and ticks are there draining you. Every single fucking subscription even is like a physical manifestation of that on your bank account, right? We're in a society of bloodsuckers right now, and they know their time is running low. So they're trying to put it into everything. And you can see the literal vampirism in everything. It's psychic, it's physical, it's emotional, it's literal when they're drinking the fucking blood of children, right? Like, here we are. We can accept that we have to fight vampires, or we can keep sticking our head in the fucking ground. Because this is what it is, right? It's exploitation, it's consumption, it's taking. And the first way that you starve you deal with a predator is you start fucking starving it.
mm-hmm.
And when it's
Yep.
desperate, that's when you fucking strike. Because it's when it's desperate, it's gonna do stuff, and
Gonna
it
make
may
a
not always be
mistake.
the smartest thing
Big
that it
mistake.
does,
Yeah, like it'll
and you
trip
can
up.
capitalize on those mistakes.
Well,
So start taking your energy back. Stop posting shit on Instagram. Stop giving your magic away. I mean, if you still want to use Instagram, go for it. But think about what you're engaging with these platforms for. What is your daily Facebook post, if you're making one, do? Right? It drives engagement of other people that you care with, and do you actually want those other people that you care with to be on those platforms? Just saying.
I'm taking. This is kind of my. We're at like an hour, so this is kind of my sort of concluding thought here. Right? When it comes to like battle magic, like I guess like social media, taking your energy back from that. I have withdrawn from social media for a like I look at it, I visit my sites, my groups, whatever. Um when I feel myself getting stuck into the doom scroll and I start to feel my heart rate go up, I'm like, "Oop, let me close this off." When you start to feel your energy being siphoned off. But I have been away so long. I have not engaged for so long. I kind of feel like I do want to engage a little bit, but not like in the traditional way. So what my kind of new approach is I started a personal blog, just like a blog off to the side, not related to Witches Betwixt, not related to, anything, not related to Pig Pride, just me. And I think what I want to do, like, I'm just going to post there and then just share the posts, like the links to those posts on social media. And that's going to kind of be like, kind of the way I'm engaging, but not, because I hate writing like a whole Facebook post and then everyone's fucking opinion, ripping apart all the little nuanced things. I'm not here for that. You know what I mean? If you want to take the time to read my blog, do it. And if you want to comment there, fine, we can talk there. But like, I'm not gonna go tit for tat on a Facebook post. I'm not gonna do the whole
Yeah,
social media
I
dance.
don't. Yeah, that I don't do either anymore.
You got a
Yeah.
Substack? Is that what that is?
I did start a Substack. So I made a WordPress site, and then I'm pushing the post to a Substack and a Tumblr and trying to see, like, what gets more kind of traction, I guess. So far, Tumblr's winning. I've only made a couple posts. I'll share it when I'm
Well,
more, ready to
did you
share
hear about the
info.
CEO of Substack and what he said?
I heard some shit on Substack about the CEO of Substack. I just
I did not.
recently got on Substack. It was something about money that was donated to some fucked up political shit. Is that what it
Basically, he
was?
refuses to take down. There was a post. Well, the post that I saw was he refused to censor uh, uh, conservative Substack users who were saying like there was one article in particular that was being cited by another Nazi Groiper. I forget who it was though. It wasn't Fuentes or anything. I don't think. Although he does have a Substack, so maybe it was. But they basically this really it got really popular. This article had a lot of reads, and it basically was like all BIPOC people need to be deported from America. So every
Jesus.
yeah, and that was like like a big part of this really popular article, and people were like, are you going to do anything about this? Because this is just fucking fucked. And there was more to the article, obviously. And he was basically the CEO of Substack was like, he started like freedom of speech and freedom of the press and whatever. And it was just kind of like eye roll, you know what I mean? And he was just like, oh, you could tell he's like a wealthy, like out of touch white man. Um, and it was just kind of like, and you get like kind of like I got the ick, but I mean I get what he's saying, but like icky anyway, you know what I mean?
I was like, what's an acronym for that? Wealthy, out of touch white man. A wow. A wealthy, a wealthy, out of touch white man. Wow. Wow.
Wow, wow. Sorry.
Wow.
But I do want to say, to quote a historic occult shop here in Philly that I used to work at that is unfortunately no longer open. I've said this before on podcasts about battle magic, but I loved it. It was light a torch for the good and cross swords against evil. Yeah, it was on the side of the building. It was this beautiful part of the mural that was on the side of Harry's occult shop. And it was always and Harry himself made that because the full like the full line is we aim to help, light a torch for the good, cross swords against evil. Yeah, yeah, light a torch for the good. I think about it all the time.
A quick note to leave on with that. It's interesting how we never really realize stuff in historical context because the details get lost. Like, for example, Scott, you carry that as a motto now. And if you were to write it down in a book later on, because it's so important to you, people might think that you came up with it, but they may not know necessarily that it came from Harry, having written it at Harry's Occult Supplies, you know?
Hmm. That's why I think that's another reason why I want to carry it with me too. Like I thought it was a great injustice to remove that beautiful and it was a Saint Michael, like it was this beautiful interpretation of Saint Michael, and I don't know, like I was like it probably like I was always pretty sure it lended some kind of protection, uh,
Like a magical
to the
art piece.
area, not just the shop, but like to the area. And it was just this big angel, you know what I mean, with a sword, and I was like, shoo, it was so cool. You can still see it
Mikhail's my
online.
homie. He does not fuck around. He doesn't care if you're part of the faith or not. If you are not a bad person, he will show up for you. He's like legit the witch favorite for a goddamn reason. Every witch knows, Mikhail, you are the baller. We love you. We stand you
Yep.
forever and always.
He's just down for a good bar fight.
He's always down to fuck some evil up, and that's like my MO. And he'll always come running when I call. So Godspeed, Mikhail. I will call you more in the future.
A little spell for people before I leave. You can if you have a statue of him or like a fancy candle jar thing, you can write the name of your enemy and put it under his candle and ask him to conquer them for you, and he will do that. Just as a heads up. Little simple Catholic folk magic for you.
charismatic. It works. Well, this was great. I really enjoyed our conversation here. I usually do, but this was good. We stayed on topic. We had a couple deviations. We kept bringing it back. This was like beautiful chef's kiss on keeping our neurodivergent asses in line. So I think with that, I think everyone's kind of said their conclusion here.
Yes.
So yeah, we're wrap up here.
Bye.
Coffee, don't
Bye
forget.
everyone. Yes, you can support us on
We have
Ko-fi.
coffee.
All that's gonna change too though soon. But
Free Palestine.
And war, free Palestine.
Yep.
And fucking stop war. Seriously, war is fucking stupid. Fucking stop
I
war.
don't celebrate bombs. This is my final thoughts I'd leave very quickly. I don't celebrate bombs no matter who drops them. So when I see
100%.
people running in fear from a bomb, I don't care if they are in Israel. I don't care if they're in Iran. I don't care if they're in Gaza. People deserve to live their fucking lives and not be bombed. There's nothing that I hate more than a bomb because it is hate personified. It cannot do anything but destroy. It is the equivalent of a Nazi. It has no feelings. It has no thoughts. It has no emotions. It only knows to take away. I despise them in regard, and I do not sing praise when any of them are dropped on any person anywhere. And I don't believe people should either. I know it feels very cathartic. Laugh at Israel right now with all that shit they threw at Gaza and all the genocide they did. But at the end of the day, bombs are killing people. And I do not think that's something to celebrate, even if there are enemies or even if there are people who've done horrible things.
Yep.
I will fight my enemies, but I will not hate them.
Yeah.
And I certainly will not celebrate their children's suffering.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so with that, we will sign out here.
Love
See
you
on the
all.
next one. Bye, everyone.